Have you ever finished a movie, a series, a book, or a game and felt strangely empty afterward? Not because the story was bad, because it was over. For days, sometimes even weeks, you keep thinking about the characters. You remember their voices, their jokes, the way they reacted when something went wrong. You miss spending time with them, even though they were never real. And that can feel a little ridiculous. How can you miss someone who never existed? But the emotion is real because, to your brain, familiarity does not depend entirely on whether someone is physically present. It depends on how often you see them, how much you know about them, and how emotionally involved you become in their life. When you follow a character for hours, you do not only watch what happens to them. You learn how they think. You discover what they are afraid of, what they hide, what they want, and what they regret. You see them when they fail, when they are embarrassed, when they lose someone, and when they finally do something they never believed they could do. In real life, it can take years to learn that much about another person, but a story can show it to you in a few episodes. You may know more about a fictional character's private thoughts than you know about some people you see every day. That creates a strange kind of closeness. You are not actually part of the character's life, but you are allowed to witness their most important moments. You watch relationships begin and end. You see secrets that other characters do not know. You understand the reasons behind their behavior, even when everyone else in the story misunderstands them. And because you understand them, you start to care about them. Your brain responds to social information even when that information comes from a screen. A facial expression can still make you feel concerned. A familiar voice can still make you feel safe. Watching someone get rejected can still make your stomach drop. You know logically that it is acting, animation, writing, or code. But emotions do not wait for you to confirm whether the person is real before reacting. They respond to what the experience means. This is also why fictional characters can sometimes feel easier to connect with than real people. Real relationships are unpredictable. People misunderstand you. They become distant. They interrupt you. They change their minds. Sometimes you never fully understand what they are feeling. Fictional characters are different. Their behavior follows a story. Their emotions are usually made visible. You are given enough information to understand why they act the way they do. And most importantly, they cannot judge you. You can care about them without having to impress them. You can spend time with them when you feel lonely without worrying that you are being annoying. You can leave and return whenever you want, and they will still be exactly where you left them. That sense of safety can become deeply comforting. Sometimes you connect with a character because they represent someone you wish you knew. Maybe they are loyal, confident, funny, calm, or protective. Sometimes they represent the person you wish you could become. But often the strongest connection happens when a character reflects a part of you that you rarely show. A character may struggle with loneliness in a way you understand. They may hide their anxiety behind jokes. They may feel behind in life, afraid of disappointing people, or unable to say what they really need. And when you see that part of yourself inside a story, you feel recognized. The character does not know you, but the person who created them may have understood something you thought only you felt. That can make the connection feel personal. It can also explain why different people become attached to completely different characters. Someone you find boring may mean everything to another person, not because the character is objectively better, but because they reach something specific inside that person. Maybe they appeared during a difficult time. Maybe the series became part of a routine when life felt unstable. Maybe the character gave them courage, comfort, or simply something to look forward to at the end of the day. The emotional connection is not only attached to the character. It is attached to the period of your life in which you knew them. That is why returning to an old movie, game, or series can feel like visiting a place you used to live. You are not only remembering the story, you are remembering who you were when you first experienced it, the room you were sitting in, the people who were around you, the problems you had at the time, the version of yourself that needed that story. And then the story ends. The characters continue with their fictional lives, or sometimes their stories stop completely. There are no new conversations, no new moments, no more time together. Your routine suddenly loses something familiar. This is why people sometimes experience a kind of post-series emptiness. For several days or weeks, you had a world you could enter. You had people you expected to see. There was always another episode, another chapter, another mission. Then one day there is not. The silence afterward can feel surprisingly similar to missing someone. Of course, fictional relationships cannot replace real ones. A character cannot know you, support you, or grow beside you. But that does not make the experience meaningless. Stories can teach you how to understand other people. They can help you put feelings into words. They can make you feel less alone before you are ready to talk to someone in real life. Sometimes a fictional character becomes a temporary source of stability. Sometimes they help you through a period they will never know existed. And sometimes they stay with you long after you have forgotten most of the plot. So when you miss a character who was never real, you are not really grieving a person. You are missing the familiarity, the comfort, the routine, the version of yourself that existed while you were with them. The character may have been fictional, but the time you spent with them was real, and so was everything they made you feel.